guys, welcome back to Sunday School. We are so excited to have you back with us for another Sunday School. I'm out here at the Peace Garden over by the church is where I am here today, and it's so good to be with you. First of all, we want to thank Lily and Jolene for doing a wonderful job with communion last week. You guys did awesome. Thank you to everybody who sent pictures. Also, this week, we want to thank Sophia for doing communion. And today's story is about a wonderful woman who made beautiful clothes for those in need in her community. Her name literally means beautiful or gazelle, and it doesn't mean dummy. And you'll learn more about her in the story today. Now, it was the word got to the disciples that people believed she had died, and the disciples came to check on her and you'll find more about this wonderful and amazing story. We invite you to read it in Acts 9:36 through 43 to prepare for the quiz. Again, know that we love you, and it's so good to be with you, and we're going to head on in and see your pictures and your vote-winning images for the New Testament Hall of Fame. See you later. Here your votes are in. Here's the winning images for the New Testament Hall of Fame, as well as pictures from all of you. Here's our first New Testament Hall of Fame winning image. Saul's conversion. That's a great picture. Here's our second New Testament Hall of Fame image. Saul's conversion. Another great picture. Here's our third winning image. All three great selections representing Saul's conversion. Here's some craft pictures. Here's Olive's butterfly. That's a beautiful butterfly. Last week, we all were given the drawing assignment, and Olive did the kitty cat. Great job, Olive. And Annabelle did the owl there, and also did a great job. Way to go, Olive and Annabelle. This week, we honor those who have shown us fatherly love. Here's Graham and his dad. That's a great picture. Here's Nancy's dad, Fred. Here's Charlotte's grandfather, Arthur, her brother, Tom, and Charlotte. Here's Graham, and he and Nancy's daughters, Lisa and Anna. There's me and my dad. That was after one of my surgeries. Here's Morgan and her dad. Her dad is a principal. Did you know that? In this picture, they both won awards for their work with students. Well, this is Olive's uncle Steve on the left. In the middle, her great uncle Gary, and on the right, her grandpa Gerald, all who've shown her fatherly love. This is Olive's mom, Jackie's youth pastor. She was a youth who showed her a lot of fatherly love. His name was Reverend Jim Benton. Here's Chinawa and Kibwe and their dad, Daniago. Chinawa and Kibwe did a wonderful job for Father's Day, making them a fancy menu and meal for their dad. Here's Lily and Jolene and Benjamin and their dad, Brian. For Father's Day, they made monster hugs. Here's Sophia and her dad, Alan. They went out for coffee here in this picture. It looks like they had a lot of fun. Thanks to everyone for sending your pictures and sharing your votes. Now remember to send us your votes for the New Testament Hall of Fame, as well as the pictures of you, your crafts, and any other pictures from the week to Eric by Friday. Well, with that, let's head on in to Sunday school by singing the Books of the New Testament song.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Acts, and next is Romans, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, Galatians, and Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, 1st and 2nd Thessalonians, 1st and 2nd Timothy, Titus, and Philemon, Hebrews, James, 1st and 2nd Peter, 1st and 2nd, 3rd John, Jude, and Revelation.
Hi everyone, we miss you. Now it's time for our first song, and good time to take out your song sheets. I'll talk about both of them briefly. Last year, earlier this month, a year ago, we had my knapsack. We went out by the courthouse and we sang this song. It's Marty Gold's children's chorus, The Happy Wanderer. And we're going to sing that again today, so grab your song sheets. But if you remember, every time we went a-wandering, we passed off the pack to somebody. And what I didn't realize was that I had the communion juice in here and it was swirling around and we had a big mess, but it dried out in the year. So anyway, what we're going to have, and then our song at the end today is going to be, we're bringing back Paul Pritchard and he's going to lead us in Kumbaya. We're going to start with The Happy Wanderer. Here is this week's quiz. Question 1. The kind woman named in today's story in Acts 9 is A. Penelope, B. Dorcas, C, Elizabeth? Announce your answer. The correct answer is B, Dorcas. Dorcas showed no signs of life when which apostle told her to get up? A, Judas, B, James, C, Peter. Your answer? The correct answer is C, Peter. For the poor widows in her village, Dorcas made beautiful A, candles, B, wooden bowls, C, clothes. Your answer? The correct answer is C, clothes. Thanks for taking the quiz.
Today's story is Kind Dorcas from Acts 9. Dorcas was her name in Greek. She also went by Tabitha. During the story, you'll see 10 images. Pick your favorite for the New Testament Hall of Fame. After Peter left Jerusalem, he journeyed widely, teaching and healing in the name of Jesus. One day, he was in Lydda when two men came from nearby Joppa with a message, "Come and help us." In Joppa, there was a woman named Dorcas who had died. She had been a true follower of Jesus, and many people were weeping and mourning because they loved her so much. She had made beautiful clothes for the poor widows of the area, working long into the night, and for years she had performed many works of great kindness. When Peter arrived in Joppa, he was surrounded by women holding out their shawls and robes, beautifully and lovingly stitched by Dorcas. They were sobbing, helpless with grief. Peter asked them all to leave so that he could be completely alone with the body of Dorcas. She lay there, cold and still, in the tiny upper room of her house. All around were half-finished gifts for the poor, needles, thread, and rolls of cloth. It was a sad sight, a lovely, kind woman struck down in the prime of her life. Peter knelt down beside her bed, touched with all the sorrow of her friends, and prayed deeply to God. Then he turned to the body and called out, "Dorcas, get up." At once she opened her eyes. She saw Peter gazing down at her with tenderness. She sat up. She breathed and stretched and yawned. Peter took her by the hand and helped her to stand up. When the people saw her, all the poor widows and her friends were overcome with joy and shock. News about the incredible miracle spread far and wide, so Peter stayed in that region for a long time, telling everyone about the love and power of his master, Jesus.
I want to introduce Jan Hagemeister, Lily and Jolene's great-grandmother and Meg Herman's grandmother. Jan is a 25-year member of our church who has been an elder, deacon, financial secretary, and chair of the congregation, and probably a lot more things, right? And she also started a ministry in which she and many other people have made beautiful things for people, much like the beautiful things Dorcas made in today's story. And it's called the Prayer Shawl Ministry. So Jan, why and when did you start the Prayer Shawl Ministry?
Back in the 2010, I joined a prayer shawl group through the Albany Community Hospital, and we started making shawls. I saw that there was a real feel of connection when folks received these shawls. They meant a lot to them. The chaplain at the church was giving them to patients in the hospital. So I decided that we needed the same sort of feel from that was available to our people. in about 2010, I believe, we started the group here.
Okay, and how many people have participated in it?
Well, we started out with about a dozen people, I believe. In the last few years, it's kind of dwindled down to maybe 6 or so.
And so they either, what is it, it's knitting and crocheting?
Mm-hmm.
And how long does it take to make a prayer shawl?
It might take a month if you work on it in the evenings. If you are in need of getting it done sooner, you can get it in about 3 weeks, I guess.
Okay, and here's some examples. We have 16 here in the cornerstone room, currently on the racks. There's always a prayer shawl. And during the pandemic, I hear that Eric has been distributing them.
Eric has been distributing them to a number of people who have had losses in the family or health issues, injuries, or illnesses.
Okay, so prayer shawls go to people in need,
In
have a
need.
need at a particular time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And can you estimate how many have been made over the 10 years?
I would say 100, well over 100. 100 that just between two of us, and we've had a lot more.
So
people
several
involved.
hundred.
Several hundred.
Yeah. And how can people join the prayer shawl ministry?
Well, if you want to join the ministry, we have yarn available, we have supplies available, and we can help you learn if you don't have the skill currently of knitting or crocheting. You can call the office at the church, 541-926-8600. Correct.
06.
If you have a need, and speak with Eric, and he would be happy to bring a shawl to you.
Okay, and I know that you're doing them at home right now during the pandemic, but when church starts reopening, when will the group meet?
We typically meet on the first and third Mondays of each month from 10 to noon in the cornerstone room at the church.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing the story, and thank you for all you've done.
You're welcome.
Greetings, artist friends. Today's story was about Dorcas, who was helped by a follower of Jesus. And Dorcas was a woman who sewed fine clothing. So today's activity is yarn painting. So in your packet, you're going to get a stiff piece of mat board, and you're going to get a little baggie that has just a bunch of colors of yarn in it. And you're going to need to get your glue and a pencil and a scissor. So first thing is going to be on your board to figure out a very simple design, a shape that you can draw on there. And you can see on mine, I drew in pencil just this kind of flower shape. But you could do a circle, a heart, a square. Just don't make it too complicated, because you're going to go back in and you're going to outline it with yarn, and then you're going to fill it in with yarn. So first thing is get that pencil design on your mat board. Then pick whatever color you want to outline in, and you can see that I started with yellow for my outline color. And then you're going to run a bead of glue. Make sure your glue is flowing nicely for this. And you're going to run your glue along. I can probably get this far, and then I'll take a break. And then you're going to put the yarn on. So this is the outline stage of that flower shape. And you're just going to push it on. Now you're probably going to get glue on your hands, your fingers. So that's what this is for here. I've got a wet towel to clean off my hands. So you probably are going to want something like that to keep your hands from getting sticky, because then they start sticking to the yarn. And this project, like some of the projects I've been giving you, are projects that you can do for a little while and then go take a break. Come back to it on another day or a different afternoon or whatever. You don't have to sit down and do this all at once. You can build it up over the course of the week. So then I would keep going, outlining the whole thing here, but I'm going to show you the fill-in part. So I've already started filling in some of the inside of the flower here and a bit of the background. So you can see on this background part where I did green, I've been doing short little pieces. So one of the things that may happen in your packet, your baggie of yarn, is it might get tangled. Don't worry about it. Just cut it into shorter pieces to get it untangled. And see, in this one, I'm just cutting really short pieces to glue down a little section here. So I'm just going to keep working my way along where I run a little bead of glue, and then I put the yarn on, press it down, and then I cut it off. Okay? And of course, as always, the color choice is up to you. I tried to give you as many different colors in your packet so you have some variety of how to build it up. And I would keep going. I would fill the whole thing. If you happen to run short of yarn, let me know and I'll send you out more in next week's packet, but hopefully I've sent you enough. So have fun with your yarn painting this week, and now we'll have communion.
Jesus took the bread and broke it and said, "This is my body broken for you." He took the juice and poured it into the cup and said, "This is my blood poured out for many. Do this in remembrance of me."
Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya. Someone's crying, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's crying, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's crying, Lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya. Someone's singing, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's singing, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's singing, Lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya.
Today we had another story, one of Jesus' followers showing God's love in the world to Dorcas. Let's go out this week and show God's love to the world. Have a great week. See you next Sunday.